Hey everybody, this is Kyle and Morgan with Front Towards Gamer. We just concluded day 2 at E3 in Los Angeles. Morgan, how was your day 2? What did you see?
It was pretty good. First thing I saw was right in the morning, 9:30. Saw Lords of the Fallen, which is the very Dark Souls-like game made by not Dark Souls people. And it
seems to be a theme lately, Dark Souls games.
It kind of is. This one is sort of. I don't mean this as a bad thing, but it is sort of blatantly going after it, or just not, but not exactly, because it's actually more story-driven. You're playing as one guy with a backstory for everyone. It's not like Dark Souls where it's open-ended, and so it's like Dark Souls because it plays just like that. Anyone who's played those games can pick up Lords of the Fallen and just play it. Every single command that I try to do, with the exception of sprint, was completely mapped as it would be in Dark Souls. And that's a great thing because it plays really well. And when I played, it was like a 30 or so minute demo, depending on how good you are at the game. I was able, in the room I was in, I was actually the only one I saw that actually completed the demo and beat the boss, which was not easy.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I feel very good about it. But what's different about it is it actually has a lot of cool stuff that actually makes it pretty different and worth playing. It's not a ripoff. Is that it's got a secondary weapon that you can always use as long as you have the magic for it, with magic gauntlets that you can sort of pick up and find, and those are essentially magic guns that you can fire, and you can equip different ones. Like one of them was more of a shotgun blast that would push them away. And the other one was more ranged, and one had an AOE explosion. I thought that was really cool. You also have like a really powerful ultimate magic attack that takes up your whole thing. And like similar to Dark Souls, you seem to have items that you have flasks, basically, you have health potions that you can drink up and refill a good chunk of your health that are replenished at checkpoints. They're not calling them anything specific. They're just checkpoints. And what's interesting about those is that you find them like you would in a Dark Souls, but when you use them, enemies are not respawned. The enemies only respawn when you die. So it was a really fun game. It played super well, ran really well on PS4, and I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Awesome. First thing that I played was Order 1886. It had a mildly short line compared to everything else in the very beginning of the day, so that was nice. I've heard it described as Gears of War in the 1800s. Kind of makes sense, I get that, but it had a bit more to it. The thermite gun is really cool. You fire a burst of thermite and then you ignite it, so you could do multiple things with that. It was pretty interesting overall, and it looked gorgeous.
What actually distinguishes it from being just a third-person cover shooter? Is it the gun? Is it the weaponry itself? Or?
I mean, it was a pretty short demo. It was only, I think, 3 to 5 minutes, so I couldn't get a full feel. The atmosphere is definitely unique. That weaponry was unique, which it was only one gun for the demo. So it just made me want to see more. So that's a good demo. Did you see anything else today?
Yeah. Afterwards, I went to Bethesda. That was
yes, we both saw Bethesda and came away with different opinions. So go ahead.
Yeah, so the thing I was actually there to see was Battlecry, which is, they recently announced a first-person World War I shooter, but no gunpowder. The world they described it as a world without gunpowder. So it's this free-to-play team-based shooter, although there's a class that's only melee, and so it's sort of focused on.
I think most of the classes seem to be only melee.
Yeah, actually, I played mostly as the archer, who is sort of nothing but bow and arrow, except some throwing knives. So those are a pretty good mix-up of classes. Really, really cool art style. Yeah, it's like a sort of a muted paint look in World War I.
Yeah, I like the art style, especially. I mean, it's a free-to-play game, so I usually associate that with kind of lower graphic fidelity, but it looked good. It was very stylized. They said, there's a lot of surreal elements, like the blood, the sky. It was very interesting.
Yeah, it was good. They had like the grappling mechanic. Actually,
yeah.
You could there were like sort of places all over the map where you can just grapple right up to and easily get across the map. So
Yeah, just basically a quick way to get across the map. So they said that they took mechanics from first-person shooters. Yeah, that was cool. And then the other Bethesda game was The Evil Within. You decided to skip it. We're not very interested. I am a huge survival horror fan, have been excited about The Evil Within, but it was disappointed with PAX. The PAX demo made me a little worried. This demo totally turned me back around. Amazing demo. I played 20 minutes solid of this game. It was fantastic. It was scary. It was true survival horror.
what was so much better about it, though?
It was not a man. The PAX demo was a man walking slowly while buildings exploded and horrible craziness happened. That was not actually scary. It was more Michael Bay than it is Friday the 13th or whatever's an actually scary movie. This was classic Resident Evil type scares and scenarios where, you know, there's enemies that you can't kill and you have to run, and then there's other enemies that you kill and then they come back and you have to light them on fire, but you don't have any matches, so you can't light them on fire, so they keep coming back, so you have to keep shooting them and wasting your precious ammo, which was actually very limited. So there you go. The Evil Within did seem like true survival horror. Limited ammunition.
Did you scream?
I did this, which is essentially my scream. That's the biggest reaction that you'll get out of me. Anything else that you can think of? So we both saw Bethesda. We just saw the new Jaeger game, which was, I think, very impressive. I think you were impressive. Dreadnought, the guy is behind Spec Ops: The Line,
Dead Island 2 now.
and Dead Island 2. Jaeger have created a space shooter where you are the captain of a ship. It's 5 versus 5 multiplayer. There's also a campaign. It's a free-to-play title, which was a surprise to us. And basically, there you pick your class and you duke it out in the skies or in space, wherever you are. I was very impressed. What did you think?
Well, it was really fun. What's interesting about it is that you're not playing. They sort of made it clear in the trailer that they showed. You're not playing as these agile ships. It's meant to be a space battle for those huge ships that just warp into the sky in sci-fi movies. It's only that, and I thought that was a really.
You're a captain of a Battlestar Galactica, not the fighter in the Viper. You're the captain of the Enterprise. You're not manning the shuttle. It's a big ship and it's slow. Some of them were faster. I chose the Dreadnought class and it was slow, but it was powerful.
That thing could shoot in 360 degrees, like wherever you aimed, it was shooting. And yeah, all the ships, have different move speeds, different skill sets, different health, but they all move. The sniper moves pretty quickly. Actually, I played the sniper for most of the other game, or the second game we played. That was a lot of fun. That was probably my favorite class.
Yeah. So they said 5 classes, 12 ships apiece, I believe, in those classes. So a lot of different ships. You'll also be able to change out your officers. That's a whole other thing. There's abilities. It's a lot. So don't worry about all of that. Just know it's free to play and it's very cool. So check it out.
That's coming early 2015. They said an open beta.
The beta, yeah. Anything else on day 2 of E3?
One more thing. Yeah, I saw This War of Mine, which is hard to explain. It's a game about the civilians of a city in which there is war going on and how they survive. So the guy guided me through a demo. It was much more of a simulation than anything else. I was under the impression it was like a 2D action game where you're going to be crafting and stuff like that. There's crafting, there is survival. It's not action. It is more like decision making and moral choices and sort of maneuvering your guys around the house to search, going to other houses at night and trying to maybe get stuff from there, realizing there's people there and being like, okay, what should I do? Stuff like that. Not much to say really about it. I even forget when it's coming out, but it was interesting. I don't know if I'm that into it though.
Okay. Yeah. The only other game I can think of that I saw Homefront: The Revolution. Looked interesting. Very good looking shooter. So I'll keep an eye on that. Nothing really crazy. Saw Dead Island 2. I was getting that. The other Jaeger game. Dead Island 2 was actually very impressive. As someone who wasn't a big Dead Island fan, I didn't really play it that much, but it just never grabbed me. That demo did sell it to me. It was not hands-on for me. They played in front of us. It was definitely gameplay. It was old gameplay, so there were some bugs, there was stuff like that, but you could see where they were taking it, and it's basically a zombie playground, and it looked incredible. It looked very fun too.
Did it look? This is a different developer, right?
Yes.
So does it look like a different type of game, or did it look different? Did it look like it was playing different, or did it
I can't recall how Dead Island played right now, so I can't say. But I would say probably yes, just from what I remember of Dead Island 1. And Dead Island 2 looks, to me, a lot like a first-person Dead Rising, where it's crazy fun, crazy action. And I don't believe Dead Island 1 was that.
I really like Dead Island 1, so you're offending me right now.
I'm sorry. I don't remember what it was because my head is crazy right now because of all of the E3 craziness. Any final summation for day 2 of E3?
My feet hurt.
Mine too. We have one more day. Lots of stuff to check out. I'll be checking out the Sega booth for Alien Isolation, Sonic Boom, and a game whose name I cannot pronounce. It is Japanese. Do you have anything tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be checking out The Witcher 3 tomorrow night, as well as Indie I'll be all over Indie tomorrow, which is the
indie booth. I need to check that out too.
there's a group, a lot of indie games. I actually stopped by that today. I played a few things. I'm going to get really into it tomorrow.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we have one more day at E3 2014 in Los Angeles. Thank you.